y'all, welcome to another speed build with Asymr. I'm happy that you're here. So today we're renovating an apartment in San Myshuno. I'm showing you the apartment's called Medina Studios. It's kind of a broken down, unappealing small one-bedroom apartment, but I got the idea to renovate it for two college students who don't want to live outside of the city. They like the city, they like the ambiance, so they go to different universities, they're best friends, and they love the idea of living in the city together while they're in school. So in my world, these girls are, like I said, they're best friends, but they come from wealthy families. So they were able to get them this sweet deal. The apartment itself, pre-renovation, looked pretty bad. There was mixed match wallpaper. The carpet looked bad. It just looked bad. But I liked the location, and I thought that if I just like changed it up and made it look better, then you would almost not recognize that it used to be a really bad apartment. Also, I really like that window there. I didn't want the apartment to be too big, which is another reason why I chose Medina Studios. I think it's like the perfect size. They have a living room, nice spacious kitchen. I mean, like, I know that I said that they have money, but I also didn't want to overdo it and get them like a penthouse or anything. So it's still pretty realistic. They don't have like state of the art kitchen appliances. They just have like your basic appliances, and yeah, they just decorated really well. And they each have their own rooms. I don't know if I already mentioned that they go to different universities, but they do. I thought that would be a really cool thing to like add for like storyline purposes. And yeah, so I really had a lot of fun with the kitchen. I think the kitchen is like one of the parts of the build. I don't want to say my favorite because I'm gonna say that a lot, but I like the way I did that corner wall, the half wall that separates the kitchen and the living room, so as not to make it like a completely open floor plan. I kind of wanted that separation. I thought about doing without it, but I don't think I've ever done this in any of my builds, and I thought it was like a really cool thing to do. And yeah, I ended up liking it a lot. I struggled with the whole black and white thing. Like if you watched my first video, you know that black and white color schemes are like my thing in The Sims 4. I don't know how to build without using black and white. The first video I posted, I did a really good job, and there's virtually no black and white, but this build, I just went black and white crazy, and you'll see me trying to like add plants to like add color, and the little station in the kitchen, I forget what it's called. I don't want to say hookah, but that's essentially what it is. But I left the green chairs there to add color. I was tempted to turn them black, but I didn't. The plants add a pop of color, so hopefully you guys will excuse my crazy obsession with black and white in my builds. But yeah, I added a lot of plants. Actually, one of the things that I kind of imagined was that one girl is super into sports and the other one is super like into makeup and nature and photography. And so I'm like pretending that one of the roommates added all the plants and she's the one who like went crazy in the decorations, and the other one is kind of more like structured and doesn't really care. So one person owns all the plants. Like many people who build in The Sims, I love clutter. I could not make this kitchen without adding clutter. I wanted it to look lived in too, so I tried to like put in things that college students would have, young adults people would have around laying around their apartment, but still keep it neat, because I'm a neat person and I cannot stand when things are all over the place. So that's what I did with this build, sorry. And I couldn't build a student apartment without having like a juice bar, because college students do that. They drink a lot of juice. So not only do they have the little bubble station, they have a little mini bar where they can wind down and invite people over and drink and get juiced up. Another one of my favorite parts of this build is this little, not the entire living room, just the TV setup area. I added a lot of clutter, and I feel like it really like, I don't know, when you walk in, it looks lived in. I think I mentioned this in my first video as well, is that we're missing a lot of clutter objects that make it look like the Sims actually live in the place. So when I was making this area, I really wanted it to look like things are stuffed aside, and like they left CDs there. Maybe they were listening to it, or they have their gaming station there, and maybe that's like a stack of video games. I don't know. I really like that, and I think it ended up looking cute. So hopefully, you guys like that as well. I thought about separating and putting a half wall to separate the living room and the front door, but there just wasn't going to be enough space, so I took it out. And yeah, I also want to do an L-shaped couch, which is something we don't have unless you have CC content in your game. We really need L-shaped couches, like, soon. I like L-shaped couches, and I thought about doing one here, but the space wasn't big enough for it, so I went with this cute little white and blue chair. And there's me again trying to not do completely white and add a pop of color. So the blue kind of matches with the plants and kind of matches with the chairs in the kitchen to tie it in all together. And in this build was kind of different in that when I usually build, I don't put wallpaper and I don't put flooring, but I kind of started with that. And I think I started with it because I didn't know starting the build, I didn't know what kind of vibe I was going for. So I just put a blank slate on the wall, and I think I ended up keeping it. And I think it ended up being okay. The white walls are kind of bright, and I think sometimes when you do white walls, it's really hard to decorate, or you feel like you have to put more paintings or decorations on the wall. And I think that's what ended up happening, but I didn't really know what other color would keep the kind of like vibe I was going for, because initially I was going for a modern decorated apartment, but as I went through, I realized that I kind of wanted it to look traditional as well. So it kind of looks traditional, but maybe a little bit modern. So I left the walls white. And the laundry area, honestly, was a last minute thought. But I've seen an apartment when I was apartment searching last spring, and I really liked how they had the laundry space exposed. And we don't have any sliding doors in The Sims 4. So I thought maybe putting the laundry space in the corner wouldn't be such a bad idea, and I think I ended up liking it. I might start using that idea in my other smaller builds. So we're getting ready to start with the bedrooms, and this is probably where I had the most fun. And unfortunately, I was having so much fun that I forgot to check if I was still recording. So at the end, when I was completely done, I found out that most of the footage half of the footage for the first bedroom, all of the footage for the bathroom, and all of the footage for the second bedroom were gone. So I had to improvise. So at the end of the video, you might see sort of like a stop motion rendition of like how I put together the bathroom and the other room. But you'll get to see the full picture in the B-roll at the end of the video. So hopefully you stick around for that, and I apologize for that mishap. For this bedroom, I really wanted to keep it simple and bring out the personality of the Sim that sleeps in this bedroom. She's a college athlete. She's super into school spirit, and so she decorated her room in her school colors. She has posters on the wall of soccer related things or other sports related things. So I really thought tie that theme into the bedroom. Completely different from the second bedroom, which is more girly. So this I like this piece of clutter. I don't know what else to call it, but the one that has the tennis rack and the bowling ball and the baseball bat, even though we can't actually use them, and I don't think there's I know there's a bowling alley, but there's not a baseball team, or you can't join a baseball team, I should say. I really liked it, and I thought it fit this bedroom's theme. I really wish that we had more clutter like that. I feel like it adds to when you're trying to build something, or you're trying to decorate an area where you really have a theme set in mind. It really sucks when you go into the items that we have and you can't really find that thing that makes everything pop. And I think for this bedroom, I really wanted it to look like an athlete slept in here and an athlete decorated. So I was happy to find that, and I really like that box of clutter. I don't actually know what's in the box, but it just looks like something a college student would have. I know The Sims 4 announced today that they're coming out with another stuff pack for tiny living, and I'm really excited for that. And hopefully in that they have more paintings to put on the wall and more clutter items. I would think that in a tiny home you would have more clutter maybe, so hopefully that's something that we'll see in the next stuff pack as well. I think we're reaching the end of the video here, but before we end, I will show you how I decorated the bathroom and how I put together the bedroom for the sim who's into photography. Both are pretty simple. I apologize again for the lost footage, but if you did like the video anyway and you like the way I build, please like, share, and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!